Hi, welcome to the 100th anniversary of the Mohegan Volunteer Fire Association. My name is Chief Chris Gravis. The following video is a short glimpse into the dedicated service that the men and women of the Mohegan Volunteer Fire Association have provided to our community. On behalf of President Andrew Serrato and the company officers, we would like to say thank you to the hard work and dedication of the members being vital to the success of the Mohegan Volunteer Fire Department.
Welcome to the Mohegan Volunteer Fire Association. 100th anniversary, 1922 to 2022. 100 years of neighbors helping neighbors. The Mohegan Volunteer Fire Association is dedicated to the safety of those living, working, and visiting our community, and to the protection of the environment from natural and man-made disasters through education, prevention, fire suppression, rescue, and emergency medical services. Our organization reaffirms the principles of its founders. We will continue to render to our citizens and the inhabitants of our fire district the best fire protection a man can render to the service of man, and strive to protect the life, limb, and property of the men, women, and children of our community. In accordance with the highest ideals of volunteer firemen, to make our community a safer, better, and more enjoyable place to live, we dedicate ourselves, our efforts, and our devotion. The Mohegan Volunteer Fire Association provides fire, rescue, and emergency medical services within the Lake Mohegan Fire District, a 42 square mile area in northern Westchester County, New York, in the towns of Cortland and Yorktown, approximately 50 miles north of New York City. Our 150 dedicated and highly trained volunteer firefighters and ambulance corps members respond to several thousand emergency calls annually, 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. In addition, these volunteers spend numerous hours each week in training, fire prevention, and fire education activities. The Lake Mohegan Fire District covers two major shopping malls, the Jefferson Valley Mall and the Cortland Town Center. Numerous strip malls, numerous factories, manufacturers, industrial warehouses, one medical research laboratory, one regional hospital, 3 nursing homes, numerous public and private schools, and portions of major thoroughfares including US Route 6, US Route 6N, US Route 202, New York State Route 35, New York State Route 132, Bear Mountain State Parkway, and the Taconic State Parkway. In the early part of the 20th century, Lake Mohegan was the place to be for live bands and Broadway entertainment outside of New York City. The many clubs and hotels attracted big-name performers, and the summer crowd swelled with visitors from all over the region. Prior to 1922, fires were fought by the Peekskill Fire Companies or the Yorktown Heights Engine Company. However, their effectiveness in being able to reach a fire in time to save lives and property was limited, given the road conditions and equipment at the time, along with the overwhelming growth of the Mohegan Lake community. On February 21st, 1922, a group of local citizens met in the Little Mohegan Schoolhouse on the top of Barmore Hill, now the Rugged Boot on East Main Street, Route 6, for the purpose of organizing a fire department. This meeting was organized after a fire in one of the Mohegan hotels. The Mohegan Volunteer Fire Association served the northern and western sections of Yorktown, as well as far south as the village of Croton border of Cortland, along with the town of Putnam Valley in Putnam County. Although such a vast area, the area was largely open land and farmland, with population being minimal. The typical fires in the area north and west of the hamlet of Mohegan Lake were brush fires. Our membership was utilized from all 3 towns as well. The first fire truck was a 1922 chain-driven American LaFrance. The American LaFrance fire truck was the sleekest piece of apparatus money could buy, and they bought it for $2,000 on credit. The first fire truck arrived on July 3rd, 1922, after the firemen and their wives held fairs, potluck suppers, carnivals, and minstrel shows. They owned the truck free and clear. Following the second annual fair in 1923, the fire company equipped a Model T Ford as an ambulance and served the surrounding communities with a much-needed and often utilized medical service. In 1923, a separate lot was formed out of the 7-acre parcel owned by Albert Travis next to Travis's Stone Garage on East Main Street, Route 6. This was donated to the Fire Association, and by 1927, a new headquarters was built on the site. The original section of the building, as it now stands, was built from bricks that were taken apart one at a time from the old Park Street School in Peekskill and reassembled on East Main Street.
Yes, the first firehouse was located on the then called the Jeter Estate on North Lexington Avenue in Mohegan. It was a converted barn to house the necessary fire equipment and a small meeting hall. They met there from 22 to 1927, where they constructed a new building, which my grandparents did donate the land for this particular building where we're standing in today.
During this period of change, it is believed that a few of the volunteers were hired to earn money when fires happened, to help them earn money due to job losses because of the Great Depression. This was a way for the Mohegan Volunteer Fire Association to look out for the best interest of its members. From this time forward, we continued to have a career staff with today's career staff of approximately 35 firefighters. On November 10, 1942, supervisors and councilmen of the towns of Cortland, Yorktown, and Putnam Valley met on the matter of enlarging the Lake Mohegan Fire District. The area to be enlarged lay in Cortland and was approved. From 1943 until 1946, the district paid for rental of a siren, which is believed to have been located on top of the water tower located on the former Jeter property, later Franciscan High School, on Lexington Avenue. This was also used by civil defense throughout World War II. In 1951, the district petitioned the town supervisor of Yorktown, John Downing, to erect a pole near the pump house at Shrub Oak for a permanent location of their siren. Sirens were also located and used up until the 90s in locations like headquarters, East Main Street and Hill Boulevard at the JV Bowling Alley, and Route 202 and Locust Avenue. These 3 sirens are still erected today, though not in use. The siren at headquarters continues to sound every day at 12 noon as part of tradition. On December 10, 1944, the Mohegan Volunteer Fire Association lost 31st Armored Division Sergeant Curtis Riker Dara during World War II. Our member gave his life for our country, and in 1950, the Mohegan Volunteer Fire Association dedicated a bronze plaque which still stands at headquarters for his ultimate sacrifice. Curtis Dara was also part of the MVFA band, which was an affiliation of our fire company. Over the years, the volunteers fought many fires, but some stand out in memory. The following were mentioned by some of the old-time smoke eaters: Carmel Courthouse, the Peekskill Foundry, the Mohegan Inn in the 1930s, which used water from Mohegan Lake to fight the fire, the Union Stove Works, the Old Forest House in 1938, when 0-degree temperatures froze the lake and sparks bounced off the ice, the 3-story chicken house on Bank Street in Jefferson Valley. Other fires which made headlines were the Duratec Manufacturing Corporation boat factory in Cortland in 1961, the circa 1900 Putnam Valley Grange Hall on Mill Street in 1972, Arlo Industries in Cortland in 1977, Danes Lumber in Peekskill in 1978, the abandoned Strawberry Manor, the abandoned Copper Beach Bungalow Colony in 1978, and the Peekskill Dude Ranch off Furnace Woods Road in Cortland. In the early years of the department, the Ladies Auxiliary provided support to members of the association. They provided many services that helped in the assistance when needed. On that fateful day, September 11, 2001, tragedy struck New York City, Washington, D.C., and the nation. Mohegan helped in any way they could. From operating a drop-off site out of the Mohegan Fire Headquarters, where the original apparatus bays were completely filled with donated supplies of food, clothing, and equipment for relief workers at Ground Zero, Mohegan also assisted FDNY at fire scenes with Engine 258 providing manpower and station coverage at FDNY's Engine 88, Ladder 38 quarters in the Bronx.
It was chaotic, and there was so much, it's like so hard. the destruction, my heart was broken from seeing fire trucks that were mangled. And we could see that New York City has the hoses hooked up to the front, while ours, they hook up to the side for the hydrant. You could see that the first engine they pulled to the building, they tried to hook up the hoses to the hydrants, and they only had time to cut the hoses with the axes, and all the tools was left behind. Their gear was left behind, and there was a lot of destruction, the buildings were crumbled. This is the pride of being a volunteer, to serve a community, to give your time and go above and beyond the call of duty and save lives, put your life in harm's way to save others. Because sometimes your adrenaline kicks in and you forget about your own life and you go out to save others.
I can still have the sense of the smell, the smoke, the sense of the smell, the fog. It was all smoke. It wasn't fog, it was all smoke. And naturally the piles. That's my memories.
Mohegan Engine 258 and Ambulance 69B3 also responded with manpower to Ground Zero and helped directly in the rescue efforts, with crews assisting for the following days. Mohegan has never been short on its desire to help its neighbors and the community, no matter what the type of emergency. We respond 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and strive to provide the best fire and emergency medical services to the residents of the Lake Mohegan Fire District, which today covers 42 square miles. The department continues the tradition of assisting other communities with mutual aid. In July 2006, we covered Vestal, New York, in Broome County, providing severe flooding assistance coverage. In September 2021, we assisted the village of Mamaroneck with severe flooding conditions. With this historic background, there are approximately 100 volunteer firefighters that make up today's Mohegan Volunteer Fire Association, with 6 rescue engines, 2 aerial ladders, 1 light-duty rescue, 3 utility vehicles, 3 chief's vehicles, 1 fire police vehicle, and 1 small rescue boat. The Mohegan Volunteer Fire Association Volunteer Ambulance Corps operates 3 ambulances, 1 BLS officer utility, and injury prevention trailer. The Mohegan Volunteer Fire Association's Fire Prevention Program is an award-winning fire prevention program that is constantly sought after by schools, senior centers, and surrounding fire departments. We also sponsor Cub Scout Pack 144. Thanks in large part to your generous community support, the Mohegan Volunteer Fire Association reached new heights. First, we fulfill our core responsibility by responding to over 1,100 fire emergency alarms. We also achieved great success in the many other ways through which we serve you, our community. Some of our achievements this year have been using the high-tech training equipment that you helped us purchase. Our award-winning fire prevention team met with thousands of our community's children and seniors throughout the year, performing demonstrations about fire safety. We changed smoke detector batteries for our community seniors. We distributed thousands of educational brochures on a variety of topics related to safety in the home and workplace. We sponsored several children's sports teams in the area. We contributed to and raised funds for many charities and scholarships. We helped Santa visit children, nursing homes, and hospitals across the 42 square miles of the Mohegan Fire District during our annual Candy Cane Run. We accomplished this by using many volunteers. Santa has posed for many pictures over the years. He received numerous wish lists and dropped off a great number of presents to the needy. Many of these presents were provided by your support. In addition, Santa also assisted us at several fire calls during the course of our Candy Cane Runs over the years. Your friends and neighbors here at the Mohegan Volunteer Fire Association are on call 24 hours a day, 365 days per year, rain or shine, weekdays and holidays, to protect lives and property in this community. All of our services for the community are done on a volunteer basis. The work that we do saves our community millions of dollars in taxes each year. Firefighter ex-President Richard E. Gleason died on July 9, 1993 at a brush fire on Route 6 at the Taconic State Parkway. He was a construction supervisor and a U.S. Air Force veteran. Dick was a 25-year member of the Volunteer Fire Association as well as its 28th president. He lived in Cortlandt Manor for nearly 30 years with his wife Lorraine and their 2 sons. He was a member of the Mohegan Volunteer Fire Association Fire Police. He was a television repairman who lived on Locust Avenue with his wife, who was a school teacher for what was the Shrub Oak School District, which later became the Lakeland School District. Firefighter President Donald Ambler died on March 24, 1955, while responding to a structure fire on Locust Avenue. Being the 13th president of the Mohegan Volunteer Fire Association at the time of his death, he was very active in the department. He was an insurance agent who was very popular in the Shrub Oak neighborhood in which he lived. Firefighter Raymond Kaw died on April 19, 1963 at a vehicle fire. He was a television repairman who lived on Locust Avenue with his wife, who was a school teacher for what was the Shrub Oak School District, which later became the Lakeland School District. The Mohegan Fire Association also has a Firefighter Assistant Search Team, a firefighter's true rescue team. To date, the FAST team responds on an average of 20 to 30 calls annually and continues to train and grasp more knowledge in firefighter rescue techniques. On-scene responsibilities include firefighter accountability, creating egress points by opening windows and doors, removing hazards, fences, debris, etc., placing ladders at the base of windows on different sides, floors of the building, walking around the entire building for size up of the scene, strategically placing members to stand by various locations for entry points, pointing out and mitigating hazards throughout the incident to incident commanders, and extensive search and rescue maneuvers and techniques if the need arises. Hundreds of hours go into training for the volunteers of our community who unselfishly give of themselves to help other neighbors. Whether it be a weekly drill at the firehouse with other volunteers or taking classes at the Westchester County Department of Emergency Services Fire Training Center in Valhalla, our volunteers are always preparing and training to provide the best emergency services possible to our community. The department also has a fire police unit consisting of approximately 20 members. These members assist us at fire scenes by controlling traffic and the fire scene area to prevent civilians from entering the area. We are also building for the future. The Mohegan Lake Fire Association has a new ladder truck, a Seagrave, being delivered in 2022 to replace our current Ladder 10. As part of our community outreach, longtime member Fremont Reef would regularly host cable television public access programs to keep our community informed. He also hosted numerous other community events and parades. The department is always looking for new volunteers. We provide free training to those that are interested. We dare you to cross the line. A special thanks to Gus Stratz for documenting our history with videos and photos and for his contributions to our website and to the production of this video presentation. Congratulations to all the members of the Mohegan Lake Fire Association, both paid and unpaid, for 100 years of service. Neighbors helping neighbors.